episode 5. Just gotta groove my body just for a second, All right, let's get down to business. I have the best fucking music. I'm just gonna say it like it is. And I'm getting to the point where you guys can follow me on Spotify. And I'll treat you with all of my amazing music. All right. Let me get comfortable. Cover up the babies. What up, everybody? Welcome. Hey, Notorious is back. Tammy, La Body Sculptors. Welcome, you guys. So, episode 5 of Keeping It Real. I'm so excited that you guys are still with me and we're still in this flow in the story of how all this came to be. So, thank you for sticking in there. So, if you're new to this broadcast channel, all of the episodes are available on my highlight reel. So it says Keeping It Real. You can go back and watch the old episodes if you want, depending on what you want to know about. Okay, so this episode, let's get into the juice because this one's a good one. So we left off last episode because so many people asked me how I made my money when I went from bankrupt. How did I build my dream home, buy land in the jungle of Mexico, and do all of that? That requires a lot of money. Yes, it does. So anyways, that's where we left off because I didn't have time to go into the most important part of everything that shifted for me. First, it was a spiritual awakening when I was in LA and I, woke up in LA and realized I couldn't live that life anymore. And then when I came to Mexico, I didn't have all the bills. I'd claimed bankruptcy, so I didn't have this weight on my shoulders of a monthly thing, and I could live for a lot less. So I didn't have to work as hard. I wasn't making that much money. I still wasn't living in abundance, but I was living in abundance of quality of life. So every day I was dancing on the beach, I was swimming in the Caribbean Ocean, I was laying in my hammock, and then I would go travel with Nike. So that was my life. I would go and travel with Nike and teach while I was building this business, and then I'd come home and live my best life. But I still didn't have money. So I did build my money through the business that I had been building, and I'd been working on it now for about 10 years. So this mind shift that happened, other than my spiritual awakening in LA, this was the next big pa-boom, okay? That opened the floodgates for me as far as abundance goes. And this is the key that I would everyone to understand. If you're out there struggling with money, it's easier than you think. So stick with me, I'll get there. Okay, so the first thing that happened is me recognizing that I was like, wait a minute. I'm living a delicious, abundant life in the quality of my life, but I still don't have an abundance of money. I still don't have the freedom. Okay, resume. Oh shit, there was live music. It might cut me off. If it cuts me off, I'm coming back on, just so you know. If it cuts me off, because I was playing music at the beginning and I just got a notice. So if so, we'll start again, okay? So I started to notice that I wasn't I didn't have extra money. I couldn't do all the things I wanted to do, but I was living a great life. But I knew there was more. So that was my first awareness that I was like, this can't keep going. All of the money I was bringing in, I would have to pay my employees and the people that were helping me build the company. And there was very little left for me, if any at all. And most of my money was made from touring with Nike and them paying me. So that's most of where my living expenses came off of. But keep in mind, I lived for around $1,000 a month in Mexico. So it was very easy to make that money and have a quality of life. But I wanted money in the bank, bitches. I wanted to see those zeros in my bank account and feel the, of what that would feel like to have that. Because I'd never had it my whole life. The second thing is, I don't know if I told you guys, but I really sometimes would crack out on YouTube. I would find Byron Katie, who helped me start telling myself the truth about the lies I was saying in my head. And then I ran across a video. There were 2 teachers that I came across in my and you'll notice this, if you're out there searching for information, put it out there and the right teacher, if that's me, will come to you and give you the information that you need to help make these little tweaks in your thinking and in your consciousness and in your and your way of being. You have to do the work. Like nobody can do it for you. So two of these teachers, one of them was Tony Robbins, big, the guru coach with the giant, and Byron Katie and Abraham Hicks. Now, I came across a video from Tony Robbins. It was a title that was something about changing, your beliefs about money or something, or make millions, or I don't remember, but it caught my eye and I was like, I want to listen to this. And so in this video, he explained, and he said, you need to ask yourself what you've been taught about money. What do you believe about money? What did you learn growing up in your childhood? What is your program? Because you've been programmed, and you can program it for anything you want. But I was programmed for lack. Because when I grew up, there wasn't extra. My mom was working her ass off trying to support 7 children. There was never extra. Nuh-uh. And my beliefs, the things I heard were money doesn't grow on trees. There's never enough. You have to work really hard. And I wrote all those beliefs down. Wrote them all down. And then he said, you need to change that belief. You need to rewrite it. Rewrite it to your greatest fantasy. Rewrite it. And so I was like, hell yeah, money grows on trees. Fucking falls from the sky. This kind of thing. And I rewrote all these sayings to a point where it felt empowering, where I was like, oh, I like this. It actually would make me laugh. And I liked that feeling. I was like, hey, fuck yeah. Bring it on. And so that was the first one. So I had rewritten all these beliefs now about money. Then another video I come across, or a person the Abraham Hicks. Now, I am not into channeled stuff. I'm not an airy-fairy, wooey-fooey kind of person. So I was a little skeptical. Well, I'm always skeptical now. I don't believe shit until I actually try it and feel it. I don't take anyone's word for it. I have to feel it myself and say yes or no, right? And that's with every belief, everything. That moment I woke up in LA, that's how my life was. It's I don't know. I'm going to think my own thoughts about this. Thank you very much. Anyways, so what Abraham Hicks was teaching, because I had watched The Secret and all of this stuff, and it was great, but I never got anything from watching The Secret. It just opened my mind that, you can attract what you want in your life, but I still couldn't attract what I wanted in my life, so it was... And so this woman unlocked the key for me. This was so powerful. So I had been listening to her videos for a while, and when I listened to her, when I was like, let me check it out, when she would speak, my whole body would just tingle. It was ooh, the big yes. I was like, I resonate with what this woman is saying. Holy shit, if it's channeled or not. Woman is speaking my language. And so I never went to any of her things. All I did was watch her stuff on YouTube, and she'd have these rants about money. And I'd heard them and I'd listened to them, and they made me feel good. And I was like, oh, I like the way she thinks about this. And then it dawned on me that I realized, and part of what I practice in the groove method is that you don't know something until you try it. That's part of our method. You can think about dancing, you can think about doing anything, but until you actually do it, you don't know shit. So I started to think about this in all the stuff that I was learning from Abraham Hicks and all of this. And actually, I'd learned it. I knew it. It was in my brain. It was an idea. It was a concept. I got it. But I hadn't actually developed a practice around it. And so I decided, okay, let me practice the shit that I've learned. Let me just actually apply it and put it into practice. So I did. So every morning, I would sit for 10, 15 minutes, very short period of time. I used to meditate hours and hours and hours a day. I would only take 5, 10 minutes. And what it was attuning my body to the sensation and the frequency of what it is that I wanted. Okay? Not dreaming about it and hoping for it and trying to I now have this. I can't do affirmations. I don't believe it because I just feel like I'm trying to convince myself of something that's not true. But the way she made it was that it's great to say positive things about yourself, but if you don't feel it, it's tough. What you need to do is sit and find the feeling of what actually is authentic and real for you. And you know it when you feel something, your intuition, your body, it speaks to you, it tells you. So think about that. I just got a message, and so some people might be saying, Misty, you need to talk about this. So sorry if I just got interrupted. Distracted. Let me turn my ringer off. Okay. So I hadn't put that in practice, and so I did. And this feeling I would sit with, and I could feel this, and you might be able to find your own, and you can feel with it, and you'll be like, it feels so good. Oh my God, it is fucking orgasmic to have all the money that I could ever dream of, more than enough. Oh my God, it feels so good to feel the avalanches, and I could feel avalanches of money just coming at me, and I had this vision of me walking around that I had so much money, it would literally just fall out of my bag, and I could just feel, like I just felt that, and it felt so good. And she even you don't even have to talk about money. It's even like, it feels so good to feel good. Sit with just, God, it feels so good to feel good. It feels so good. God, look at this life. It feels so good to be in this life. It feels like me. I sit and I just feel so good to be here in the jungle. Just to attune yourself to a different channel. Because frequency is the language of the universe. Ultimately, everything is just vibration and frequency. We all know this. This is just, this has been around forever. I'm not saying anything new. But to really apply and understand all this information that you're hearing and putting it into practice. And this is where you have to take the time to tune in to yourself, to your inner world. What's going on? What are you saying to yourself? What is true? What is not true? How do you actually feel? What is it that you're emitting out to the world? Because that's exactly what your life is going to look like. So I just took the time to do it and get this fucking thing. Within 2 weeks, I get a call. And this call came from these guys way back when I lived in LA. We're talking 7 years before I left. They loved what I was doing with this groove thing. And so we recorded a video called Delicious Dance. We made a DVD back when DVDs existed. You can't even play them anymore. Because everything's digitized. And they tried to sell it. They're like, there's something cool about this thing that you're doing. We get it. It makes sense. It's awesome. It's different than what anyone else is doing. We know we could, we're going to figure this out. But every year, nothing. They would call me. We tried this. We placed an ad. We did an infomercial. Nothing. No one's really, we don't know how to sell it. It's a difficult thing to sell. And I know it is because it's different than what anyone else out there is doing because I'm unique and different. And so I was a revolutionary in the fitness world because I started going in and saying, we are not teaching fitness. This is so fucked up, people. I became the loudest rebel in my industry. I was like, we're trying to get people to have a six-pack. What is health and wellness? And that's why the dance I was doing, it was people need to dance. When they dance, they'll do everything that you're talking about. Functional training, integrative health, it's all in one when you dance. I was just people. And before I woke up, I was part of that problem. What the fitness industry does to people. It actually makes you feel bad about yourself, I think. Most of it. Unless you're in the right program. So, I'm a rebel. I'm doing this. Boom, 2 weeks. So they contact me and they, Misty, you sitting down? I'm like, what? Yeah? And they're like, we've got some really good news for you. And they said, we learned a lot about Facebook advertising and we decided to apply everything we learned to Body Groove, the Delicious Dance DVD. And we need your bank account information because, this thing's got legs. And I was like, fucking A, let's do this. My first deposit was $10,000. And I hadn't seen that kind of money in one shot in years. It felt so, I was like, whoa. And then I was like, man, this shit works. That came out of nowhere. Couldn't have planned it. Absolute magical miracle. And I don't know if I said this last episode, but a lot of what I do, when I don't pray, I command. And I also command that when you bring it to me, when it manifests, make it so magical, so creative that you blow my mind at how absolutely genius creative you are and the master of what I want, but show me the magic. And so everything that happens for me comes in the most magical ways. And I love it. So that was one of my commands. So this was magic, literally out of nowhere. I had forgotten about that DVD I recorded 7 years before. And then another couple weeks later, they're like, just so you know, we're quitting our jobs and we are going to work full time on Body Groove. And we are going to help you. This is amazing. People are going crazy for this. We're turning it into a company. We're on, get ready to film. You're going to start filming a bunch of shit. And I was just like, let's do this. like my crack. I love to make great, amazing, fun dance content for people that lights them up, that's easy and simple to do. And I was just like, I can make this content till the fucking cows come home. Yes. And so I was now tuned in. Mama was on fire. Like, I had the feeling of absolute abundance. I started to see money like I'd never, like, the next deposit was $50,000. That was 2 weeks later. And I've never in my life, I was now 45 years old. 45. I had never seen that kind of money in my whole life. And I was just like, and that was just a taste of what was to come. And all I can say, it's hard to put it into words because it's so magical. And you guys have the magic too. This is the thing. And why I'm doing this whole thing on Instagram and everything is ultimately, hopefully, yeah, I'm sharing my life in the jungle and all of that. But really, truly is to have you recognize and realize that it's all inside of you. I'm not different than you. I'm not more special than you. I just applied what I learned, and you can do the same. But you have to, and I wouldn't say it's discipline, because I don't like the word I have to discipline myself. I'm all about, I like this kind of life. Like, I don't want to discipline myself. But what it is I reframed it. You can reframe anything you want in your life. You can choose how you frame things and perceive things and what it means to you. So for me, my practice no longer was sitting in a chair for 6 to 8 hours a day. No, it was dancing on the beach. It was sitting in the frequency of having everything I need, feeling fully supported, how good it feels. I would lay in bed at night and just, it feels so good, just to get myself in that frequency. Oh, and when you lay in bed at night, you've had a long day and your body just goes, ugh. When you feel that, tune into that feeling. Sit with it, breathe with it, enhance it. That's what puts you in a state of non-resistance, because what's stopping you from having everything you ever dreamed is resistance. And this is what Abraham Hicks teaches, is that you have to be non-resistant. You have to be so open to receive it all. Let it all you have to feel it as if it was happening right now. Feel what it would feel like if it was coming at you all right now and you had it. You felt confident. It feels so good to feel good about myself. It feels so good to want to treat myself well. There's you can reframe anything you want. You get to live your life however you want. Don't copy me. Don't copy any other motherfucker. Like, find your way. This is all about, like, groove. What I do with dance is also, I don't want to teach people what you do in your life. You groove your life. You do it your way. You be authentic, because authenticity is your fucking superpower. And if you charge up abundance with your authentic self, explosion. Your life will blow your mind. So that's what's happened. And then I will continue next week. I hope you got something from this. I love you. If you did, share it with your friends. Let's get more people on this channel having these great conversations, inspiring each other, and creating fucking dope ass lives. So next week we're gonna go into now that my business has exploded, I actually went through a severe heartbreak as well. I am not good at relationships. I'm just gonna say it like that. So part of what we do when we awaken is that we're not done with our cycle, and you'll go through multiple dark nights of the soul. So the story continues, and then how I found my dreamland, and how I actually built by not knowing anything about building. So stick with me. The story keeps getting juicy. Thanks for being here. You're welcome. You're welcome. Moni, Notorious, thanks. I wish you could do this longer. I could do it for hours, but I don't want to keep. It's Sunday. Go enjoy your day. Turn off the internet. Turn off Instagram. And go fucking outside and feel good. That's the best thing you can do right now. Okay. Love you all. Woo woo. Love you.